Have you ever noticed something strange? When you imagine leaving him, your chest feels lighter, your breath becomes slower, and your body finally relaxes. Not because you stopped loving him, but because your soul is tired of surviving. This calm is not weakness. This calm is clarity. It is your nervous system telling you something your heart has been afraid to say. Because when love is real, it does not create fear in your body. It does not make you tense. It does not make you anxious. If the idea of leaving feels peaceful, it is not escape. It is emotional truth. At first, you may feel guilty for thinking this way. You tell yourself you should be grateful. You tell yourself other people have it worse. You tell yourself you're overreacting, but your body never lies. When you are around him, your shoulders rise. Your jaw tightens. Your stomach feels heavy. But when you imagine walking away, everything softens. This is not coincidence. You did not become calm because you want to hurt him. You became calm because you want to breathe again. You tried to be understanding. You tried to be patient. You tried to be strong. You stayed longer than your heart could handle. And slowly, your body learned that peace only exists when he is not there. This is the beginning of emotional awareness. Not anger, not hatred, not drama, just quiet knowing. You start to realize that love should feel safe, not stressful. You deserve a connection that calms you, not controls you. And this calm is your inner voice finally being heard. At first, you ignore the feeling. You tell yourself it is just stress. You blame work. You blame your mood. You blame the day. But deep inside, you know where this calm is coming from. It comes from the version of you that remembers who you were before you started shrinking, before you started explaining yourself, before you started doubting your worth, before you started waiting for emotional safety that never arrived. You did not become distant because you stopped caring. You became distant because you cared for too long without being met. Every time you swallowed your feelings, your body kept the memory. Every time you chose silence over honesty, your nervous system learned to protect you. So now, when you imagine leaving, your body feels relief. Not because he is a bad person, but because the relationship is no longer good for you. You may still love him. You may still wish things were different. But love alone is not enough to feel safe. You need presence. You need emotional consistency. You need to feel chosen, not tolerated. The calm you feel is not coldness. It is self-respect slowly waking up. You are no longer trying to fix what refuses to change. You are choosing yourself quietly. This is not running away. This is returning to yourself. And the more you honor this calm, the more your life will begin to feel like yours again. There is a quiet grief that comes with realizing you feel calmer without the person you love. It is the grief of letting go of the future you imagined, the version of him you hoped he would become, the love you kept waiting for. You stayed because of potential, because of memories, because of who he was in the beginning. But over time, your heart learned to live in survival mode. You started preparing for disappointment. You stopped expecting emotional safety. You learned to carry everything alone. That is why peace feels unfamiliar now. That is why calm feels strange. Because your nervous system has been trained in chaos. You are not asking for too much. You were asking the wrong person. And slowly, your body chose rest. You may still care. You may still miss him sometimes, but you no longer miss whom you became with him. You miss the woman who laughed freely, who spoke without fear, who trusted without overthinking. She is still inside you, and she is waiting for you to choose her again. This is the moment where your healing begins. Not with leaving, but with listening. Listening to your body. Listening to your boundaries. Listening to your truth. You are not broken. You are waking up, and this awakening will change everything. The calm you feel when you imagine leaving is not emptiness. It is space, space to breathe, space to grow, space to become yourself again. You are not walking away from love. You are walking toward peace, toward a life where you do not have to shrink to be chosen, toward a connection where your heart can finally rest. You deserve a love that feels safe in your body, a love that does not create fear, a love that does not make you question your worth. And one day you will look back and realize, this calm was not the end. It was the beginning. Choose yourself every time.